All right. It's been a while, but this is BS with Joe.
Sorry, life got in the way.
Yeah. A lot of stuff's been happening since we last made videos. So, Joe, what do you want to start with today?
Do you want to start off with Judicial Gate?
Yes. So, tell me what you're meaning by Judicial Gate, and I'll tie into that.
Okay, basically what I'm talking about with Judicial Gate is the allegations that Boasberg and the other two judges, the one from Boston, the other one was from Boasberg was from Denver, and the one from Washington D.C. and another one from Boston, that were all receiving amicus briefs from the Criminal Justice Initiative, which is a nonprofit organization.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with government.
No.
So you're giving them amicus briefs.
They're sending in amicus briefs before they're filed for the judges to edit and make sure that they're going to have the correct legalese. And then the judges give it back to them and they file. And the thing is, the initiative, this nonprofit organization is benefiting from the rulings.
Well, yeah, of course.
Based on these amicus briefs. So we've got a huge conflict of interest. We've got conspiracy. It's just... Boasberg is on administrative leave. Actually, all three of those judges are on administrative leave.
They should be disbarred. Because you can't rule on something that you wrote, basically.
Right. It hasn't fully happened yet. The one in Denver, Pete Hegseth showed up in his courtroom and arrested him in court.
I heard about that.
Yeah. And then the one in Washington, D.C., Carolyn Levitt, showed up as a spokesperson for the White House and basically started talking about how, Biden administration was a joke and he was absolutely horrible. Now we have to fix the problems. And this judge was appointed by Biden and very left-leaning, and he tried to file for contempt with a $100,000 fine. And Carolyn Levitt picked up her phone and showed that she was live streaming on TikTok. And next thing you know, Pam Bondi walks in with U.S. Marshals.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's...
The one in Boston was somebody with the Criminal Justice Institute is a whistleblower and leaked documents implicating the guy in Boston.
See, and the mainstream media is not reporting any of this.
Right.
Wow.
That's what I'm calling Judicial Gate.
Well,
that's three federal judges that have caused problems for the Trump administration that are, all three of them are going down.
Well, I know there's one in, I want to say New Mexico. It's in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. He recorded himself with a Trende Agua. I'm going to butcher that. They're going to come after me now for screwing up their names. But the gang, one of the gang members was with a judge in New Mexico.
Okay.
DEA or ICE, one or the other,
right,
went to the judge's house to arrest the individual.
So he was harboring a fugitive.
Correct. And this is a known gang member. He was also, there's evidence of the gang member handing around an AR-15 to members of the judge's family. It was unloaded, of course, but the fact that we have a gang member with a firearm, with a judge, conflict of interest?
I did hear something about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've obviously been very busy and I haven't really been into watching, what's going on X and that very much in the last 2 weeks, but I did pick up on some things, and that was one of them that I did kind of glaze over.
Yeah. And so, of course, these judges are going to defend them if they have them in their homes and everything.
Well, yeah.
But
why are they in their homes? Why are they defending these people? The MS-13 gang member, the Maryland man.
Yeah, the Maryland man.
His wife, when she put up the GoFundMe, which is a complete joke, she put up the GoFundMe, she's got pictures of him that she put hearts over his tattoos so you couldn't see the evidence of him being a gang member.
Right, and not only that, but he, everybody's saying, oh, he's just a Maryland man, he's a citizen. No, he is not a citizen, he's an illegal immigrant.
He's never been a citizen.
Right, and he had 2 deportation orders.
Yes.
And one of these judges from possibly Judicial Gate,
Possibly. I think it might have been the guy from Boston, I think.
probably the guy from Boston,
Yeah.
did a stay on his deportation due to saying he was unsafe if he went back home.
Here's the thing. If, for some reason, he does come back, okay, because they're saying he didn't get judicial due process, if he does come back, before he even gets off the plane, they will immediately set up a hearing and take him directly to the hearing, find that he should be deported, and put him right back on the plane. So we're just going to be wasting a bunch of money.
Yeah, that's all it is. But here's the thing: the left, they have nothing else to go on.
Right.
They have to attack at whatever means they can.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Now, this is one of the things that scares me about this. So, if they put all these judges in place,
Right.
and you look at what happened during January 6th,
Yeah.
it's going to be that kind of scale, but probably larger, and they're probably going to be everything that's under the radar.
Well, I mean, if January 6th is any indication of how desperate the Republican Party can get, which I think that it was all staged by the Democrats to begin with, but if that is, if that's the antithesis of the Republican craziness, then the Democrats have already trumped it big time with the Tesla attacks and Judicial Gate and George Soros and his crap. Yeah, they're unhinged.
They are very unhinged.
And the media is just absolutely insane in the way that they manipulate stories. Like the picture of Donald Trump holding up the picture of the guy's hand.
Right.
Saying, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
You turn that ringer off.
Uh-huh.
It's just scam phone calls.
I hate those.
Constant.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole thing is we're in a cold civil war.
Mm-hmm.
The judges are the left's defense.
It's their attempt to take over the power of the country.
Right. And the thing is, if these, like you're saying, the Tesla attacks,
Right.
they go to in front of the judge is going to give them a tissue instead of the book.
Some of the judges are giving them, I mean, some of these guys that have vandalized Teslas have gotten terrorism charges, and they're going to jail for like 20 years.
They should.
Yeah.
Because there's no other reason why they did it.
Yeah. There was a woman that keyed a Tesla that's getting like 15 years.
Well, that may be a little excessive.
It is a little excessive.
I could see the firebombing and
Yeah.
things like that, but keying, it's a little excessive.
Well, she keyed a Nazi symbol into the door.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a hate crime.
It's a hate crime. That is a hate crime. And you're right. I was debating this with some family members. We need to bring back more of a capitalized punishment. And to be honest with you, I think it would be better suited for the public. Like
Capital punishment?
Forms of it. Like, all right, because you look at it this way: a lot of your youths that are in the gangs or in the really bad neighborhoods,
Right.
and have really bad father figures,
Vote left.
They're like, it's not if I go to prison, it's when I go to prison.
Right. They don't even. Yeah. They assume that that's going to be a part of their life.
They assume it's already going to be a part of their life, so they're accepting it. So they're willing to go to prison for nothing.
Right.
Because they're like, it's my time.
Yeah.
So what I would like is stockades to come back for those first offenders, and they're usually probably juveniles.
That's considered cruel and unusual these days.
Everything's cruel and unusual. But what I find is cruel is arresting somebody that's 40 years old, has young kids in the family, a great career, putting them in prison for 20 years, or threat of prison for 20 years.
Right.
When they get out, their family's gone.
Yeah.
They have nothing to come back to.
Right.
Their life's destroyed.
Well, yeah, they made a mistake.
They made a mistake.
Yeah.
I think individuals like that, because they're 40 years old, they're already probably more likely not going to commit most crimes if they haven't been caught with any crimes at that time.
Right.
I believe something like lashings would be more approved. Like, but give them the option. Do you want 20 years in prison where you don't see your family anymore, or 20 lashings? They could probably die from the lashings.
Yeah.
But giving them the option?
I don't know. I don't think that would fly.
I don't think it would fly. It would be cruel and unusual, but yet at the same time, what's more cruel? 20 years away from their family? Half their life?
You're opening up a huge can of worms here.
I know,
in my opinion, because now we're going to get into the fact that the prison system has been made privatized, and the fact that our prison system has not got anything to do with rehabilitation anymore.
It hasn't. You're right. It's an industry.
Yeah. They don't want to let people out because they get more money. I mean, there are people that have been proven innocent that are still in jail.
That's what I'm saying. If we brought back something that gives them an option like this, and also like something like if they do this before they even have their sentencing hearing, or even before the trial, so the jurors know, hey, they could probably get 20 lashings or 20 years.
Yeah, that's something we should look into. How did we end up with the privatized prisons? We'll have to look into that.
Well, that probably all started when we done away with capital punishment.
I don't know when it happened. It should have never happened.
No, it shouldn't have. And the thing is like stockades was always a form of shaming someone, because they were on the square, they were in stockades, and everybody saw them. Now, a lot of times they did die of exposure.
Yeah, but usually they were stripped down to their skivvies too.
Yes, and left out in the sun and weather. Now, but you also had family members that would try to care for them while they were in the stockades.
Right.
And people did survive the stockades.
And other people shoving dead fish down their pants.
Yeah. Throwing rotten fruit at them, or but with that kind of punishment, like, kids could ridicule them. Imagine Facebook or something like this. Hey, look who's in stockades for doing something stupid. Instead, we're allowing these teenagers to steal a car with their friends and go run over people on bicycles.
Well, we're not really allowing it.
Well, apparently we are, because what happens to them? They get a little, don't do it again because you're a juvenile.
Okay. I see your point.
You know, like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's when.
Yeah.
Whereas if we do something like that to deter them, because deterring them is no longer on the table. It's no longer a deterrent if they say it's when instead of if.
True, because they've already accepted it as a part of their life. I don't know.
So if you make it something that, and this is going to sound really bad because I'm not a violent person of any kind of means, unless necessary. It's getting to the point where it's almost necessary. Because
I don't think that's the solution.
It may not be the solution.
I'm not with you on this.
Right, but it's one of those kind of things that how do we stop these factory prisons? How do we deter crime? But yet we're already starting it by going after these judges.
Yeah. Because these judges are the ones that are giving them the slap on the wrist.
Right.
And it's the left-leaning judges that will silence people on the right and give everything to the people on the left. And politics don't belong in the courtroom. They just plain don't.
No, but they are.
I know.
And that frustrates the shit out of me.
I think it frustrates just about everybody.
Yeah. And this is one of the reasons why Trump got elected.
Right.
So with that, I think we're going to end this episode, because we've probably been talking for a little while.
Yeah, that's fine.
Plus, we got a lot more to talk about today. We're going to make several videos today, and we're going to post them. But like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you enjoy the show, let us know.
Please.
All right.